How long could you survive in a zombie apocalypse? I have one attempt at the most realistic zombie survival game. The first 3 days are what I call prep time. This is because every 3 days I get a random challenge which I need to beat or the video ends. So in these 3 days I wanted a good weapon, a lot of clothing to protect me, and lastly, I wasn't trying to starve. Day 0, they really made me start with a kitchen knife. I was not trying to make the zombies a sandwich, so I immediately looked for something better and I ended up with a metal bar. It wasn't the best, but it was something. Next was good clothing, so I got them zombies out of here. I had a system to deal with bigger hordes of zombies by dealing with them in pairs or trios. Again, it wasn't the best, but it did the job. The last thing was food, so I searched this house. Empty? Okay. Has to be something in here. Empty. I want to deal with my character's needs before going out to another house, but thankfully this house had just what I was looking for. I got everything I needed. Day 1 was just gathering more supplies. Nothing too crazy until I came across a special kind of zombie. That's a gun though. That person does have a gun. I knew I was never going to shoot a gun unless I was doing a meet and greet with zombies, but I left that for another day because I did not feel confident. So I slept and got back to it the next morning. Day 2, I was getting that gun and nothing was going to stop me. Leave me alone! My goal for the day was done, but the side characters wanted more screen time too, so I got rid of them. But then I searched this house. No way. What's in here now? Oh my god. I was set up for this entire run, except I got a little greedy and searched these smaller homes. I thought every zombie in the vicinity was about to start sprinting after me because of this. Luckily, I got out of there in time. Day 3, it was challenge day. Which one we get? Which one is that? Spend 3 days without going outside. The challenge in itself wasn't too bad, as there was no danger, but all I was able to do was read and watch the same 3 shows on TV. In real life, you would be miserable. I wanted to go outside. I just spent this time increasing my XP rate and dyeing my hair. Now, let me tell you, that feeling of touching grass after staying inside for 3 days felt like I was in Fallout and came out of the vault. First thing I did was get a better weapon. This machete was about to make things so much easier. But then I remembered I spent 3 days in the house. It was already challenge day again. I did not want that one. Now at the time, I thought changing house was a bad thing, but it would have been much worse if I got this later on. So, it was time for me to go house seeing. The house with the weapons had no door in it, so that was a no. Next best thing was the house next to it. So I got all that moved within 24 hours and even went out at night, which is honestly terrifying with how little you can see ahead of you. I was never doing this again. Now, all I had to do was wrap up for the day. The only thing able to hurt me in 7 days, myself. Luckily, it wasn't anything too bad. Now you may have noticed there aren't many challenges right now, but that's because each time I log out of the game, new challenges are added depending on my progress. Once I got back, I had to sleep, so I was on day 8. Today I wanted to find an establishment. I wanted that premium loot, but since I stayed indoors for 3 days, I also needed food. This was unexplored territory. Just past this road, I found a church. What could you find in a church? Aside from pastors trying to serve jail time, not that much. All I got was a whole load of zombies and a map for Louisville. There were zombies all around me, no matter which direction I wanted to go in, so I went back and searched one of the smaller houses for food instead. That was all I was able to get done that day, so I went to check the Louisville map. Okay. That was a whole city. I was not ready for that. So I went to bed and I was on day 9. I got out nice and early and I went in a different direction than last time. So I checked these last couple houses I didn't loot. Help! Don't tell me I got bit, don't tell me I got bit, please. Whew, I'm so lucky. I was so scared I got bit, but luckily I was safe. Then I found something I had been searching for. Finally. I could finally carry more supplies. However, since it was day 9, you know what that means. It's challenge day. The first challenge of today is a... No, I did not want this one. Now this was a mandatory challenge. That means there was no time limit. The next alarm that goes off, I have to stay there for the whole duration the alarm is going off. This could lead to my death. So I went back to exploring, and at the end of my road I found a store. 5 at once was the most I had dealt with, but I got through unscathed. So I looted the store and I was set on food for days. On my way home I heard a helicopter. I have no idea if that means anything, but it confused me. So once I was back home, I sorted out my needs and I went to sleep, ready for day 10. Day 10, I wanted to check the medical center next to the store, so I cleared out this area and grabbed everything here even if I didn't know what it did. I then dropped everything off and headed back to try to find some more supplies until I came across this small horde. This random gunshot helped me advance, and it couldn't have happened at a better time. But even now I was attracted to the sound. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to check because otherwise, those zombies would have done a quick 180. So I checked these houses and grabbed whatever was useful to me, but this time it wasn't so easy.
I'm here for the cheese.
Thankfully, my clothes were enough to stop me from getting bitten. I had more guns than I could count at this point, so I headed back and dropped it all off. I needed a new jacket because this one now had holes in it because of that zombie, but that was for me to focus on another day. Day 11, I wanted to explore the area where the gunshot came from. There was a new jacket and clothing for me here thanks to zombies, but aside from that it wasn't too much, so I'm pretty sure I got the wrong house. Then I saw a construction site. I dealt with the horde bit by bit, searched the house next to me, and checked the area around me. It was becoming safer and safer, so I dropped my stuff off and went back to sleep. Day 12 was upon us. Challenge day. Please not that one. No. Kill 5 zombies with no protection. It's probably where I'm gonna die. I got out at 6 AM and got back to the area I wanted to search. I was terrified of getting hit even a single time because it was GG if that happened. Definitely the most stressful challenge I had so far. To make it worse, the biggest horde I had seen so far, and I was standing here half naked. Oh my god, no, no, no. No way. I'm not going over there right now. I managed to get the challenge done, and then I had set my eyes on this horde, which luckily wasn't too bad. Unfortunately, this building didn't have anything crazy, so it was pretty much a waste of time. So I got home and dropped anything off that I had, ate some food, and that's pretty much it for day 12. Day 13, definitely unlucky. I should have known by the rain, something was gonna go wrong today. I went back to the same area to explore a bit more, found a couple boarded up houses, and knew they had the good stuff, but I needed a hammer. So I put that on my to-do list. However, I then found a supermarket which I really wanted to search, but just like any zombie movie or game, the supermarkets are always full of zombies walking in and around it.
You're done. Yeah, buddy, you're done.
What you heard right there was the sound of my machete breaking. I was not about to start boxing no zombies, so I had to run back home and got my spare one. Now that doesn't sound so bad, right? So I went back to the supermarket. I was way too close to other zombies while I was killing and they all start swarming me. I was low-key stressing. My machete breaking, zombies swarming me. I missed this giant red flag to stay away from this area. I cleared the surrounding zombies and got closer to the supermarket, but more just started flooding out from inside it. You heard that right. There goes another machete. I just had to run home. Once I got home, I replaced my weapon with a spiked baseball bat, which wasn't as good, but it was good enough. But I was not going back out there for today, so it was time for me to sleep. Day 14, this was a big day. It started out foggy, so this was a bad omen, but it cleared up. Today I was set on taking over the supermarket, so I was once again back here. These zombies laid down a whole Yu-Gi-Oh trap card. They caught me in a pincer attack. I was being targeted from both sides and got attacked twice. I saw I was bleeding, and I just had a bad feeling. I managed to get them all, but I saw my health was dropping down quick. I tried to rip some clothing and cover the wound, but I was just a tiny bit too late, and my game was over. I only lasted 14 days, and we know my cause of death would be getting too complacent and not checking my surroundings. The more I think about it, the more it hurts because I didn't shoot a single one of those 15 guns I had. I didn't get to explore the supermarket or Louisville, but it is what it is. This is why black people avoid any sort of life-threatening situation.
My story.